Yo, what's going on, guys? CultofMush back at it with the top 5 best PC hardware deals of the week. It is the final week before Christmas. There aren't too many great deals available, but I was able to scrounge out a few good deals. And if you want to do some last minute shopping or you just want to pick up something for a good price, then stay tuned. I should also note that usually the month after Christmas, early January, from what I've noticed in recent years, there are some pretty good deals around that time as well. So at this point, you've probably already missed out on the insane holiday deals. If you want to wait until early January, you might be able to pick up something good then. But without further ado, let's get right into this with number 5. Number 5, over on Adorama.com, you can pick up the blue Snowball for $50. This is a microphone, a very good microphone at an entry-level price point. It's priced at $50, which is the typical price you would pick up a Snowball for. Sometimes they go for like $55, $60. But there is also a $20 mail-in rebate, knocking it down to only $30. The real kicker of this deal is after you use the mail-in rebate. $30 for a blue Snowball is an insane deal, and this is a great microphone, whether you want a microphone just to talk to your friends, or if you want to start making YouTube videos and doing commentaries. The blue Snowball was the first microphone that I picked up. I don't use it anymore, but at the time, it was just a great microphone for getting my channel started. And I can highly recommend it for those of you that don't have a lot of money to drop on a microphone, but you want something of high quality. The blue Snowball is absolutely perfect, and for $30 after a $20 mail-in rebate, it's a really good deal. Moving on to number 4, over on Amazon, you can pick up the ASUS VX248H 23.8-inch monitor. This is a 1440p monitor, and it comes to the market at $195. Now, the real issue with this monitor is the fact that it is 1440p and it's only 24 inches. The majority of people that I talk to, if you're picking up a 1440p monitor, you probably prefer a 27-inch screen. However, if that's not a big deal for you, a 24-inch screen and playing games at 1440p on it, they're gonna look really good. And for $195 to get an ASUS monitor that is 1440p, that's a really good deal. And personally, I do prefer smaller screens, so if you're somebody like me, this is gonna be right up your alley. As far as connections go, you've got dual HDMI ports as well as a VGA port, so that's really good. And 1440p gaming is becoming more and more accessible, especially if you have a video card like the GTX 1070, or even lower end video cards like a GTX 1060 or an RX 480, they can do 1440p gaming pretty well. It's not like they're gonna max out every game at 60 FPS, but they can still run games pretty well given how cheap those graphics cards are and how entry level they are. At $195 for a 1440p monitor makes gaming of that caliber accessible to a lot of people, so definitely check this out if you're interested. Moving on to number 3, over on BestBuy.com, you can pick up an EVGA 600 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply for only $35. I don't have much to add on this, but this is just a really good deal. This power supply typically goes for around $50. It's on sale, $15 off, and you get free 2-day shipping, so that is definitely a good deal. 600 watts now is pretty much enough to power any video card. Even something like a GTX 1070, a 600 watt power supply is going to be no problem. And for $35, yes, it's not of the highest quality in the world, but if you are building a budget-oriented PC, then this power supply is going to be really good. I actually used this power supply for a while. I don't use it anymore, but when I used it, I had no issues, and given how cheap it is, I think it's a really good pickup. Number 2 is the Sapphire NITRO Radeon RX 480. This is the 8GB model. It is $235, and then there's a $15 off mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $220. Personally, I'm not a big fan of picking up an 8GB RX 480. I've covered why I think that way. Basically, if you're picking up a GPU like the RX 480, chances are you're only gaming at 1080p. And that 8GB isn't going to be coming into play in a lot of cases. Sure, it'll help now and again, but regardless, I digress. This is a really good deal. $220 for the 8GB RX 480. That is a very solid pickup, and the RX 480, everybody knows how good of a GPU this is. For 1080p gaming, it's exceptional. And like I said, even at 1440p, it does pretty well given how cheap of a GPU it is, and picking up the 8GB model will help you at gaming in that resolution, say if you want to pick up the monitor that I mentioned in this video as well. Finally, number 1, I mentioned this last week as well, but there is an Intel Core i5-6600K combo available for $420. There's also a $20 mail-in rebate, knocking it down to $400. With this bundle, you get an Intel Core i5-6600K, one of the best CPUs on the market. This combo does not give you a CPU cooler, so if you're picking this up, make sure you get a CPU cooler as well. And you get an MSI Radeon RX 480, this is an 8GB model as well. And you get free copies of Civilization 6 and Doom. All of that for $400 is a really, really good deal. $400 to get a very high quality CPU as well as a very high quality GPU and 2 games that are somewhat recent. I don't value Doom at $60, but Civilization 6 just came out a few months ago. and even Doom came out, what, back in May? So value-wise, you're looking at a $70 to $80 value right there, and if you subtract that from the cost of the CPU and the GPU, you're getting the CPU and the GPU for like $320, which for a 6600K and an RX 480, that is insane. And like I said, I mentioned this in last week's video too, but if you guys are interested in getting a kickstart on building your PC, and you want to pick up a few parts right off the bat, this deal is probably not going to be available for much longer, but it is a fantastic deal for those of you looking to build a new PC. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.